Leo, welcome to your astrology reading for the month of November. So before I jump into this, this is most applicable for your rising sign. If you're running a birth chart, it's your ascendant, it's the sign that rules your first house. This is how other people perceive you, especially when they first meet you. It's still applicable for your sun sign, which is how you express yourself, and then also your moon sign, which is how you process everything internally through that emotional lens. So jumping right into it, because we have a lot to talk about in November. We have the new moon in the sign of Scorpio on the 1st at 8:47 in the morning Eastern time. And so when this happens, you have the sun and the moon at the same degree point in the sky, so an easy blend of energy. A lot of highlighting your feelings. Scorpio is deep, intense, passionate feelings. For you, this is sitting in your home environment, so your house of home. So thinking about your home, the way that you're expressing yourself, fully aligns with how you feel about your home life. Really a lot of harmony here. And this is going to easily blend with whatever goals that you've set for yourself or that you've been working on. And so the sun and the moon will trine Saturn retrograde in Pisces, which is sitting in your eighth house. Eighth house being a house of transformation, Pisces being all about your goals. Saturn retrograde right now, what you're doing is really trying to figure out what is the strategy, what do you need to do in order to accomplish these goals. And so this new moon energy is really going to help you figure that out. It is going to create obstacles or challenges to any kind of changes that are happening in your daily life. So think of the structure in your daily life. Pluto in Capricorn is this energy where things are changing. The way that you used to kind of operate on a regular basis is now changing. Pluto is about to leave the sign of Capricorn. It actually happens this month. And so there is a lot of pretty strong energy happening here. But what this tells me is that whatever's happening in your home environment is just creating obstacles or challenges to making any additional changes in your daily life. But you can certainly work with the energy if you're trying to make some changes there. And then on the 2nd, we have Mercury enter the sign of Sagittarius. So that happens at 3:18 in the afternoon Eastern time. And so Mercury in Sagittarius likes to talk big picture, likes to get clear on the details of what's happening here. Let's be honest about things. Let's get to the truth of the matter. A lot of positivity connected to it, optimism. This is actually sitting in your fifth house. Fifth house is the house of fun. So think of anything that you do outside of work that you enjoy doing. So hobbies, passion projects, spending time with your children, or even having children. These are all things that are part of that fifth house energy. It's also short-term relationships. But the way that you're expressing yourself, either with your kids, through your hobbies, kind of through your passion projects, is easily going to blend with how you feel about your home environment. It's also going to blend, it really easily flow with whatever changes that you're trying to make to yourself. There is a Mars in Cancer aspect to this where you've been kind of, while Mars is in Cancer, you're taking internal action here. And so the way that you're expressing yourself, kids, hobbies, all of that, it's going to easily flow with those actions. It's also going to create an opportunity here for you to make changes in your daily life. It's something here that you wanted to do. Now you're getting an opportunity to do it. It's literally the day after the new moon, so you can kind of see how quickly this energy changes or what becomes more dominant than the other. There is a trine to Neptune retrograde in Pisces, and so what this means is that whatever it is, whatever these conversations are, maybe these high-level conversations around children, passion projects, things like that, or discussing them in more detail, it's going to easily blend with getting clear on whatever needs to change in your life, whatever goals that you've set for yourself. What is it? What are those? Because this is helping you get clear on those. The only opposition I see is related to your career and public reputation. So this opposition to Uranus retrograde in Taurus indicates that there have been changes happening within your career, sudden changes. Um, this here just seems to be more of a focus, like less focus on your career right now, more focus on the things that you do for fun, that kind of energy. And then on the 3rd, we have Mercury enter the sign of Leo. So that happens at 11:10 p.m. Eastern time. So same day as daylight savings, if you want to think of it that way. But now Mars left Cancer and it entered your sign. So this is going to impact you personally. So think of your physical person. Whatever action you're taking right now is in your best bet, your best interest here. And so I like seeing this because it is about taking action for yourself. And it's going to easily flow with whatever those conversations were. When you think about your hobbies, your passions, kids, things like that, The actions that you're taking for yourself easily align with that energy. It's also going to easily flow with getting clear on whatever your goals are. So when you're thinking about the changes you want to implement in your life, getting clear on those goals, easy blend of energy. It is going to create an opportunity here for you to make more changes when it comes to your career or public reputation. So thinking about the actions for yourself, kind of think of it from you have a lot of control right now into what is impacting in what way. And so this one here, I like to see it. It's an opportunity you have to seize, but there is an opportunity here for you to make changes in your career. Mars and Leo will be opposite Pluto and Capricorn. And so the action that you're taking for yourself right now, it does contradict whatever changes are happening in your daily life. It's an opposition. You can certainly find a way to work with that energy. And then we do have Mars and Leo square Chiron retrograde in Aries. And so when you're thinking about this wound that has come to the surface, preventing your growth and expansion, are you holding yourself back out of fear? Is there something connected to like maybe finances that you're not able to go back to school, something along those lines? Whatever that wound is, the action that you're taking right now, now's not the right time to work on that wound. You'll be able to address that at other points in time. Right now, focus on taking this action for yourself. And I'm going to highlight something and we'll come back to it at the end of the month. But we had Mercury enter Sagittarius on the 2nd. It will actually station retrograde on the 25th. But on the 7th is when that pre-shadow starts. So when we start to feel the impact of Mercury kind of slowing down a little bit, forcing us to go internally. I highlight that here just from a timeline standpoint, but we'll talk about that later. Venus does enter the sign of Capricorn on the 11th at 1:26 in the afternoon Eastern time. And so Venus in Capricorn for you, when you think about your structures, here we are again. So this is the structure of your daily life, the routine that you like to do. Venus likes to bring things together. It's all about focusing here on what you value, finding that balance. That's what Venus wants to do. And that is going to easily blend with whatever wound came to the surface as it relates to your growth and expansion. Whatever has held you back from really going after your goals and your dreams, that's what you're able to work on. And because this is a wound connected to your growth and expansion, where I am seeing some challenges is getting clear on what needs to change and really just maybe fine tuning, coming down to the details of that, how you feel about that change, what that change needs to be. That's where I see the challenging aspects. And then we have Saturn stationed direct in the sign of Pisces on the 15th at 8:21 in the morning Eastern time. So when this happens, we've had Saturn in Pisces for a while. It was retrograde. And so a lot of the work that we were doing an internal reflection of that work. But now what we're going to be doing is putting it more external to us. For you, this is sitting in a house of transformation. So now it's about, okay, I've been trying to get clear on what needs to change. Now let me start taking some action here that aligns with that change. This is actually really great because Mars in Leo is still here. So it's going to be here for a while. And so Saturn in Pisces, now you're going to be able to work on those dreams. Where there are challenges here is when it comes to discussing any growth or expansion, going after any kind of growth or expansion as it relates to your passion projects, hobbies, children, or even your friendships here. And so this is about working on yourself versus on maybe your relationships with other people or other areas of your life. And then the same day that we have Saturn stationed direct in Pisces, we have the full moon in the sign of Taurus. So same day, 15th. This one is at 4:28 in the afternoon Eastern time. And so we have the sun and the moon at opposite points in the sky. For you, this is a fourth house. Sun and Scorpio sitting in your house of home. Taurus, moon and Taurus in your house of career, public reputation. And you can kind of see that push-pull energy, fourth house, 10th house. And so during this time, the way that you're expressing yourself at home, it's going to easily blend with whatever actions that you're taking that are in your best interest. We saw that before. It's showing up again with this full moon energy. We're also seeing some kind of more related to your career here because we do have the moon in Taurus. We also have Uranus retrograde in Taurus. So whatever changes are taking place in your work environment, they kind of align with how you feel, or they do align with how you feel, but they are opposite to the way that you're expressing yourself at home. So it's really that work-life balance, kind of back and forth, almost like a seesaw. Let's try to find that happy medium between the two. If you want to, you can. It just requires some effort. Where I am seeing positive aspects here is in your house of transformation and in your daily life. These are really being highlighted this month. And so when it comes to this house of transformation, getting clear on what needs to change, what do you need to grow, what do you need to get rid of, things like that, the way that you're expressing yourself at home easily blends with getting clear on those goals that you have for yourself. How you feel about your career also creates an opportunity for you to get clear on those goals. The sun in Scorpio, sextile Pluto and Capricorn. So when it comes to your daily life, the way that you're expressing yourself at home creates an opportunity for you to make changes to the way that you operate on a regular basis. And daily life really doesn't mean just like a Monday through Friday thing. It's the things that you do on a regular basis. So if you always go to like something on a Tuesday night, it would be that. That would be part of your daily life. That would be part of your routine. The moon in Taurus will easily blend with making changes to that daily routine or to that regular routine that you have. Then we have Pluto enter the sign of Aquarius. So that's going to happen on the 19th at 3:30 in the afternoon Eastern time. The really significant thing about this is now we are done with Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto in Capricorn will not happen again in our lifetime. We are moving on to Pluto in Aquarius. And so we went from making changes to the structures around us to now let's focus on making some liberating changes. And so this one here, we did see it earlier this year. So think back to earlier in the summertime, late spring. What did that look like for you? Pluto in Aquarius is sitting in your house of significant relationships. So think of liberating changes here. And what it's doing when Pluto re-enters Aquarius is the changes that are happening within your relationship. They're going to create an opportunity for even more deep passion expression at home. It's going to easily blend with whatever changes are happening in your career. So think about your changes in your significant other, positive impact at home, positive impact in your career. It's creating an opportunity for you to get clear on the goals that you're setting for yourself. What do you want to change about yourself? The only two places where I see a little bit of difficulty here is the Pluto and Aquarius energy will be opposite Mars and Leo and also the moon in Cancer. Mars and Leo being in your first house. And so what this looks like is you're very focused on the relationship and less on taking some sort of action for your own benefit or solely for your own benefit. Also, moon in Cancer, which would be that internal how you feel about yourself. So again, you're very focused on your relationship with your significant other or those significant relationships in your life, not so much on doing anything internally or maybe the way that you feel about yourself internally. And then we have the sun enter Sagittarius. So that happens on the 21st at 2:57 in the afternoon Eastern time. And so the sun in Sagittarius is it's a fun loving one. And I love that it's in your house of fun because this is a very optimistic energy. So sun, self-expression, Sagittarius, let's do it, let's grow, let's expand, let's enjoy things, it's even higher education is part of the Sagittarius qualities. So I do like to see that, especially if you do have children, there might be conversations around higher education as it relates to children. I love this. If it's not children, it could be hobbies, things like that, like really going after and exploring things. Really, that adventurous side is kicking in during this time. And that's going to easily blend with whatever actions that you want to take for yourself. So if you do have something here that you want to try, maybe you've always wanted to go like skydiving or something like that. It's an action for you. It's also maybe connected to the fifth house of fun, something that you want to try doing. Love to see that. It's also going to easily flow with getting clear on those transformation goals that you have, like what needs to change in your life in order for you to have the life that you want. And so it's going to help you get clear on that. That sun in Sagittarius helps you kind of fine tune that. It creates an opportunity here for changes within your relationship. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of an opportunity here. So if you do have children and you are married, I mean, this is a pretty easy energy to kind of work with here. However you're expressing yourself around children or maybe wanting to have children, grow your family in some sort of way because Sagittarius is a growth and expansion opportunity. It's going to create an opportunity for changes to happen within this relationship. And it's usually, I kind of see this more the other way around, but in this aspect, it's more of that children conversation driving this. So I do like to see it, but it is all about change here and its growth and its expansion. The only place where I see a challenging aspect is the way that you are expressing yourself passionately or like through kids, that kind of energy, passion projects, things like that, it's going to be opposite to any kind of changes that are happening in your work environment. And it's more of there's this other area of your life that really is being highlighted right now, not so much on your work environment. And then we do have Mercury station retrograde in Sagittarius. So the pre-shadow started on the 7th. The retrograde itself is on the 25th, or it starts on the 25th. And then Mercury will station direct on the 15th of December, so all in the sign of Sagittarius, and then it will leave the post shadow on January 2nd. So we're with this energy for a little while. So when it comes to this Sagittarius energy, we saw early on in the month when Mercury entered the sign, this is a lot, again, fifth house of fun, so kids, hobbies, things like that. All that outward expression is now going to become an internal reflection. So when you're going to think about, okay, what do I want to accomplish here? What is it that I want to grow and expand when it comes to my children, when it comes to my hobbies, things like that? It is going to be opposite to whatever you're trying to grow and expand in your friendships. Kind of makes sense if you're focused on your home life and maybe things that you do for yourself. Maybe you're not so focused on the collective and doing things with your friends at the moment because you're very focused on doing other things in other areas of your life, like children or hobbies, things like that. Where there is an easy blend of energy is when it comes to that growth and expansion wound that you have. That internal reflection on your hobbies, maybe even children, really does help there too, because Sagittarius is about growth and expansion, and Aries for you rules your ninth house of growth and expansion. So you can kind of see where this internal reflection really does help you figure out, how do I address this wound? How do I continue to nurture and heal this wound? Where I do see obstacles and challenges here is in your eighth house of transformation. So it's about getting clear on those goals that you have, working on those goals that you want to achieve. And it's more coming down to maybe now it's not the right time to focus on that energy. You're doing other types of internal reflection when it comes to yourself, what needs to stay, what needs to go, things like that. That's just not where the energy is. That could even indicate when it comes to the money that you earn, maybe you're focused on other areas of your life and maybe not trying to grow or make changes to the money that you make. Um, because Saturn in Pisces in your eighth house could definitely be working for money. Definitely could be working for money. So the idea here is that it looks like anything connected to your career or anything outside of working on hobbies, children, things like that, just really not the focus right now. It'll change. All this energy just flows. But Leo, this is your reading. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.